If you love making lo-fi hip-hop or anything remotely similar, then you gotta see what you're launching in this video. Euphoria is a sleepy lo-fi pack that are created for all producers who aspire to make sleepy lo-fi at the professional level. As a producer with over 10 million streams, I've used my experience and insight that I gained over the years to create this pack. This pack includes drums, drum loops, Foley loops, one-shots, Serum presets, ambience, textures, effects, and a lot more. Plus, we are launching a competition where you can get to collab with me on a track if you use one of our sounds from the pack. More on that a bit later. First, I want to show you what's inside the pack. Okay, we're in FL Studio and I want to give you a small preview on all the sounds that are included in Euphoria. As you open Euphoria, you can see that there are 5 folders over here. We have the Foley and Loop kit, the drum kit, the MIDI cheat codes, one-shot kit, and a Serum 2 preset bank. Up first, I'm going to show you the Foley and Loop kit. So first, we have the drum loops. So from this, I have taken all of the drum loops from my tracks that have over 100,000 streams and I've added over here. I've also included the stems with it. So I'm going to give you a few demos on what the drum loops sound like. Up first, the drum loop Dreamy. It's a very dreamy track that you can use for all your sleepy lo-fi tracks. I've also included the stems over here so you can go check it out. Then I want to show you my favorite one that is called Omen. And the other one that I want to show you is Ice. This drum loop comes from a track that me and Icy Waves made that has over 100,000 streams. Next, we have the Foley loops. Up first, I'm going to show you the brushes. These Foley loops add a good texture below our drums. So after using one of our drum loops, you can just add these Foley loops to fill up the frequencies and give the track some more depth. Up next, the branches. Then the keys. I've used a bag of keys together and shaken it around using a metronome. So this is for the loop kit. Up next, we have the late nights drum kit. The drum kit includes every drum sound you ever need to make a sleepy lo-fi track. And I'm going to show you what it contains. Up first, the ambience. My favorite one out of these is the loud crows. It's very rare to find a school of crows together and also chirping at the same time. Here are some other ambience textures that I recorded. You can easily drag and drop them in your tracks to set the mood for your lo-fi songs. Up next, we have the effects section. Effects are an underrated part of any song, and without it, you will feel that a song is missing something. Up next, the drums. First, I want to show you the hi-hats. Now, the kicks. These are soft electronic kicks that are perfect for sleepy lo-fi. Up next, the open hats. Up next, the shakers. Together with the hi-hats, you can layer them together to create a soft groove for your lo-fi songs. And finally, my favorite, the snares. Each snare has been tried and tested with a lot of songs of mine, so you don't need to worry about mixing, mastering, nothing. As for taste, you can just add some EQ or reverb to it. That's it for the drum kit. Up next, we have the MIDI cheat codes. You can drag and drop these MIDI files, and all of these work with each other, so you don't need to worry about compatibility issues. It's all about your liking. We have the hat MIDIs that you can just drag and drop. We have the kick MIDIs. These MIDI files have covered almost all grooves of lo-fi hip hop. And finally, the snare MIDIs. As you can see, there are very little snare MIDIs because the variation between snares is very low. Now, my favorite part, the one shots. One shots are one of the best ways to get a professional sounding sound without wasting money on trying and testing VSTs. So in FL Studio, all you need to do is open a sampler and just drag and drop a one shot over there. Now you can easily play with these one shots. In this, my favorite one is the sleepy bass. I use it in almost all my tracks, and this is what it sounds like. It is the perfect base for sleepy lo-fi. You just drag and drop it in a sampler and start creating with it. Up next, we have a Serum 2 preset bank. I'll be going through each and every presets that I've made for Serum. In total, there are about 75 presets. And up first, we have the Arps. The first one is called Cute Beeps and Bops. This was inspired while making a Halloween lo-fi track. So this is what it sounds like. Up next, we have some soft background fills. Here, there are some macros that you can tweak as per your liking. And finally, we have Space Station. This is like an R, but you can also use it as an effect or transition. Up next, we have a lot of bells. First is the pretty one. This bell is pretty high in nature. It doesn't have a lot of attack and decay. We can increase that in the amp mode. So this is what it sounds like. Then we have a xylophone. Next, a marimba. Then a bell called Plucky. Then a bell called Psycho. Here, I have added a macro called downsample that uses a bit crusher in it. You can easily layer it with other keys on top to create this nice breakdown section. Then we have a soft bell. It's one of my favorite bells that I've ever made. Then a bell called Solo. This was inspired by a track with me and Mycelium Bug, where in the second half of the drop, we had layered the piano with the bell on top. I tried to do an emulation of a bass guitar. I'm not sure if I was that successful. This is what it sounds like. Then the classic 808. You can easily add a top kick to make it hard hitting. Then a sidechain sub bass. This sub bass came into life because I was sidechaining the bass in every track of mine. So to make my life simpler, I just made a preset on Serum. To remove the ducking effect, you can just automate the attack. Then a simple sub bass. You can add some saturation to add more harmonics to it. Up next, the effects. This is like a lo-fi static. I try to create some ambience on this, but it's pretty hard. And we have Alien, some beeps and bops. If you can use a granulator synth on this, it'll go crazy. Then we have something called Lose It. This was inspired by Fisher's track called Losing It. I try to use it in lo-fi, so this is what it sounds like. Then we have some radio noise, some raindrop, a basic sine fall, some spaceship. Yeah, some tremolo noise. Now, the guitar. The only guitar that I could try was a guitar muted. That's what it sounds like. Now, the keys. This is like a normal sine wave key with a saw wave on top. Up next, we have wobble. I've also given in some macros, so you can try that too. Now we have key ambience. Now we have the ambience roads. There's a huge shimmer delay on top to create that ambient effect. To give that airy texture. Now we have cloud puff. We can also use this as a pad. Now we have something called a cool layer that I developed because I was trying to find stuff to layer a normal Rhodes or a felt piano on top. If you increase the attack a bit, you can add the reverb with the felt piano and it sounds beautiful. Now my favorite Rhodes. Now we have something that's inspired by a flute. Something called interesting. This is my first attempt of trying to make a guitar, a key called mellow. Now we have key mono-ish. Key organ. Simple Rhodes. This is like the first thing you can learn on Serum. You have something called the space road. And finally, your mom's favorite. Up next, we have the leads. So first one, it's called Belief. So what it sounds like. It's like a basic lead layer that you can add. I've heard it in a lot of lo-fi tracks, so I just included it over here. Then we have the lead called Nice. This is what it sounds like. This is a beautiful lead layer that you can incorporate in your tracks. Then we have a pulse. People who can experiment with different sounds, so you can just try this. Then we have a sine lead. Then we have a soft one. A good trick for this one is to play like a small melody and then add portal on top. So it will create a lot of weird textures. Then we have something called Spook. This was created last year for Lo-Fi Girls Halloween compilation. I made a video about it. You can go check it out from here. I've used this theremin in the break section. Then we have a lead spooky voice. Again, if you have seen that video, this is what it sounds like. Then we have a lead called telephone. Then we have finally a theremin. Up next, we have the pads. This is basically a vocal pad that I've added reverb to it. Then we have pad ambient. Here's something called background. So while listening to a lot of lo-fi tracks, I've noticed that people use a synth pad in the background and trench it in reverb. So I was trying to create that. I was not that accurate in creating it, but it's pretty useful. Then we have a pad called Basic Backdrops. This was inspired by my favorite pad preset on Decent Sampler called Basic Backdrops. This is what it sounds like. Then we have pad Beautiful. Then you have pad calm. Then we have a choir. You can smooth out the highs a bit to add it in your tracks. Then we have a pad called gritty. Then you have a keys pad. This is basically a Rhodes piano just drenched in reverb. So one shot, it's preferably used as a one shot pad. You should not play chords with it. A ping pong pad. Then you have a simple pad. I'm giving you the option to add reverb or not. I kept it off so that you can use it as a Rhodes as well. Then you have a soft one. Perfect for background pads. Then we have a tube pad. The distortion gives a lot of character to this, so this is what it sounds like. Almost each and every pad has a macro to it, so you can just check it out. Finally, a warm, simple pad. It's just perfect. I'm proud of this actually. The last part of the Serum presets, we have the Plucks. The first one is called Innocence Glissando. There's a preset on Diva called Innocence Glissando. I've literally tried to copy it on Serum. This is my recreation of it. This is Snowfall. It is inspired by one hard track called Snowfall. So what it sounds like. Then we have a clean pluck. Then I have my favorite pluck. Now we have a pluck that's generally added as a layer with other elements of a track. Ooh. Then you have a normal sine pluck. You can reduce the attack using the amp modulation. I've also added some macros to all of these plucks, so you can go check it out. Then we have a space themed pluck. Finally, we have the whistle pluck. That's it for the Serum presets. Regarding the competition, all you need to do is get the pack, use one of our sounds, and send it in on our Discord. You can join the Discord from the link below, and the winners will be announced next month. And also, every producer who gets the pack gets personalized feedback on 3 of your songs. I will go in depth on what you can do and how you can level up your songs. So don't forget to check out Euphoria and use code DARKWINTER for 15% off your purchase.